Hello, I'm Dr. Valerie Walker, and welcome to another exciting moment of the medical moment. Today we're going to be talking about the DASH diet. And I know you're going, oh, I've heard of every kind of diet in the world. The hot dog diet, the boiled egg diet, the cabbage diet. But trust me, this diet will help you stop hypertension right in its track. It's called the DASH diet, which is a dietary approach to stop hypertension. And I promise you, if you follow this diet to the letter, and I know everybody treats every now and then, I mean, nobody's perfect but Jesus. So if you cheat every now and then, it's okay. But if you stick basically to this diet, your blood pressure will drop. And so what we're going to do again, we're going to divide this because it's kind of long and I don't like to overwhelm you. I like you to listen to some of the tape, then go back and listen again so you know that you got it. We're going to do the first part of what you should do with this diet, and then the second part is what you shouldn't do. And sometimes I hate to call it a diet because it's really a lifestyle. The things you learn today, you can do it all your life, because whenever you tell a patient they're on a diet, guess what? That's when they want to go out and eat ice cream and some fudge, brownies, and all those type of things. But if you just get in your mind that now you are eating better and you're doing the DASH diet, which is the dietary, write that down, dietary approach to stop hypertension, then you will have this thing licked. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is what foods should you eat? You know, food is such an important part of our lives and all, and our activities, our celebrations, and you're always stuck with every day, what should I eat? But let me tell you some basics. First of all, do not skip meals. Do not think, oh, I just eat one meal a day, Dr. Walker, so I should be real skinny. No, 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 no. You have to do 3 balanced meals every single day. And the reason for that, with breakfast even being your most important meal that you should eat. Did I tell you about that brain is powerful? If you don't give it what it needs, it'll take it from other places. So you got to start. It's like running a car on empty. You don't want to get up in your cars on empty, but a human body is the same way. It needs food as a nutrient to nurture all the cells and nerves and organs in your body. So when you wake up and you try to run on empty, that kind of shifts the body into a whole different gear. And if it don't hurry up and get what it wants, it'll start breaking down things that don't need to be broken down, like ketones and all this. And that's a whole different subject. So the main thing I want you to remember is that you have got to do your 3 balanced meals a day. I have patients tell me all the time, well, I don't eat breakfast, Dr. Walker. I don't like breakfast. Guess what? It likes you. And I'm not telling you you got to sit down and cook this big, huge breakfast. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is eat something to get your metabolism reveled up and ready to go in the morning, and try to eat the same time. That's a key factor too. Don't eat all over the place. It's too sporadic. And just like you don't want nobody in your life that's all over the place, just sporadic. This one way this day and this day the other. The human body is the same way. The body likes consistency. So the more you can try your best to eat, and I know you're busy, but try your best to eat the same time, your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner, and then a little bedtime snack of a little fruit or something in the evening, then that will be okay. So those are some of the basic things that you want to do. You want to always stay hydrated. Make sure you drink a lot of water. The human body is mostly water, so you got to give it what it is. And when you drink, you got to stay away from those sugary fruit drinks. Most fruit drinks are just full of sugar, including orange juice. So you want to stay away from them. And if you must do orange juice, I always tell patients halving it with water. Pour a lot of water in your orange juice and mix it up, and let's just do half and half. Okay, so what shoes should you eat on the DASH diet, which is the dietary approach? Remember, we're going at high blood pressure naturally from a diet's point of view. You want to try to eat grains, and you want to try to eat at least 6 to 8 grains per day. But I like my patients to get on a little lower, because one part of grain is things like pasta and brown rice and cereals and bread. Then if I tell you you can eat a lot of grain, you're going to go out and try to eat 5 servings of pasta every single day. So you want to read the label on the grains, and you want to make sure you want to get healthy grains when you buy your grains. Your fruits and your vegetables, at least 4 to 5 servings every day. I have patients again say, I don't like fruit. Guess what? Fruit like you. Try to eat the rainbow. A plum, a dark purple plum, a beautiful green apple, a yellow banana. Just always remember in your mind, God put those rainbows up for a reason, and He put them up there to remind us that we need to try to eat more from the rainbow and at least have 5 to 6 servings of fruit a day. No less than 4, please. No less than 4. So try to eat your fruit every single day. Fruit is an excellent source of fiber, as is vegetables, and you're supposed to get at least 30 grams of fiber every single day. It stops constipation. It helps those bowels move. When you eat your apple, don't cut the hulls off. Just leave them on there. Just wash it real good and just eat the hulls. Those things push the bowels through and make you have a normal bowel movement, and you won't suffer so much constipation. So try to get that fruit in. And people say, that's a lot. No, it's not. If you have like an orange for breakfast and a salad for lunch and some fruit in between going home, instead of stopping at the gas station when you get your gas, I see you, and run in there and buy these big old bags of potato chips. You don't need to do that. All you need to do is have you a piece of fruit and keep it handy. You'll be surprised at how good fruit tastes when you're hungry. Don't try to eat fruit and stuff when you're full, because then you're going, oh God. But just try to eat it when you're hungry, and it'll taste delicious. You want to try to put, like I said, many kinds and many colors. Do the rainbow. When you're in the produce department, which always, when you walk in most stores, you'll notice that the produce department is right to the right. So they're telling you to do right. Go to the right and just pick you all kind of different varieties and colors. And the more colorful, always remember, the better when it comes to fruits and vegetables. Always looking for your vegetables to be fresh or frozen. And always remember, fresh is better. My grandmother, when we was growing up, she used to go out in her garden and pick corn and peas and bring it in and cook it, and it would be so wonderful. I can remember one time my grandmother, she always liked to cook during the week a big pot of peas or greens and hot water ground cornbread. Well, for those of you out there from the country, you all know about hot water ground cornbread. So I remember one day I walked in, and there again she had this big old pot of peas on the stove and the hot ground cornbread. And I looked at it and I looked at her, and I was her favorite, actually. Most people's favorite doctor too. And I said, Grandma? She said, yes. I said, look like to me, I have come to the conclusion that I don't want none of those peas, and I don't want none of that cornbread. So I'm thinking she's going to come back with, oh, baby, well, just let me fry you a piece of chicken, which is what I wanted, or something different. Guess what she told me? She looked me right in the face and told me, good night. I went, good night. That was not what I was looking for. And what I said all that to say, those old folks, they didn't have a Walgreens on every corner or CVS, but they knew what to do, and they knew that cooking good old things like peas and beans and all these things are always very good for you. So don't shy away from them. They're good for you. Cook a big old pot and eat off of them, and it'll keep you out them fast food stores, which is coming up on our second half when I tell you what you cannot do. So don't be ashamed to invest in some peas and beans and cook a big pot full and eat off them all week. And that way, when you're hungry, instead of stopping at the fast food restaurant, you can go home and eat you something healthy to eat. Get you something healthy. Young forwards, your meats and all concerned, you want to lean more toward poultry and seafood. And I don't mean just seafood and eat it. I'm talking about seafood out of the ocean. And with your seafood, you always want to make sure it's fresh, that it's not farm raised, that they got it out the ocean where it's supposed to be, not raised on the farm. And you want to eat that at least, please, fish at least 3 to 4 times a week. And if you don't like fish, it got to be one of them you like. I got a patient who don't care for fish, but she loves tuna. I said, well, find different ways that you can make tuna, and then just gradually introduce yourself back into other types of fish that you can eat and that you can enjoy. So you want to eat fish, you want to stay away from red meat, and the reason for that is because of the high fat content, unless you get really, really lean meat. And then you want to eat your poultry like chicken, but guess what? After bust your bubble, you need to pull the skin off. Yes, you do, because there's a lot of fat in that skin. So lean more toward chicken and fish, limit the beef, and if you have to have it, make sure you get real lean cuts and try to eat fish 3, 4, 5 times a week. It doesn't matter. The more fish you eat, the healthier you will be. Now, your nuts, your seeds, and dry beans and peas we've talked about, and you need to try to eat at least, again, 4 to 5 servings. Well, my grandmama did it when she cooked that big old pot. Guess what? We ate off of it 3 to 4 days a week, and that was good for us because they didn't have access to all the things we have access to, like fast food places, which is the worst place you can make a habit of making your diet, because you're going to turn up with all kind of health problems. Trust me on that. And that's why we're seeing so many health problems in all these young people. You want to pick nuts. Guess what's your best nut? Remember I told you earlier in the show about the brain? Walnuts. Walnut is a very good nut. Almonds are very good nuts. So try to eat you some walnuts and almonds, and try to get your almonds unsalted, and try to eat those at least every day. And they are very good for you, as is the lentils, the kidney beans, and all the beans are all good for you also. Now, what are you going to do with the fats and oils in your diet? Well, you want to eat at least 2 to 3 servings of fat or oil every day, because you need it. Yeah, there are a lot of processes that go on in the body that need a little fat and oil. So the problem we had is that we did too much of it. We do too much oil, too much fried. But what you need to do is eat the good fats that's found in like avocado. And I don't mean just making it up all fat, and I mean just buy your avocado and just slice it up. What I like in the morning for breakfast, I will do a piece of 21 grain toast with all the grains in it. I'll slice up an avocado, and I'll just drizzle just a little bit of olive oil over it. And oh my goodness, you talking about a good breakfast. Don't knock it until you tried it. Some avocado and toast in the morning. They're good fats in fish. Omega-3s, you want to avoid the omega-6s. Those are associated with a lot of inflammation, and you're going to hear a lot on this show how the inside of the human body, don't look at the outside, the inside of the body just full of inflammation. And what we're trying to do now with everybody is put that furnace out that's going on and raging on the inside of your body, so you can be in good health. So omega-3s are very good, very good. Salmon is a good fish, and I see a lot of you, and I'm so proud, a lot of you out there eating a lot of salmon, and that is good for you also. And nuts. Okay. Now, I always use low sodium and low fat salad dressing and marinade. And there again, like I told you before, and we have this, just for example, dressing, the first ingredient, the very first ingredient on here is sugar. So don't make that big old salad and then just mess it up with dressings that are nothing but sugar. What you want to do is just drizzle a little vinegar over your salad. Vinegar is good for you. Vinegar actually helps weight loss too. So you can drizzle a little vinegar over your salad and some olive oil, and that can be your dressing. Real simple. It doesn't have all the bad stuff in it, and it actually tastes real good. I remember when I was growing up in the country, we didn't have all these salad dressings. We didn't even have ranch and all the different things they have now. And my grandmother would always drizzle some lemon. She'd always have, her salads were simple: cucumber, lettuce, and tomato. That was her salad. And she'd drizzle some vinegar over it and a little mayonnaise. And guess what? Let it set for a second. Be the best salad you ever had. So those old folks, they kind of knew more than we know today about health care, because they knew how to improvise. They knew it wasn't a doctor or a pharmacy on every corner, so they knew what to do. for your condiments. Okay, those are things that go with things. We got to get that together. We got to lay the salt shaker down. That's your weapon. And you got to pick condiments like black pepper. Black pepper go good on food. I saw a lady at a restaurant had some pasta, and she blackened the whole pasta. And I'm saying to myself, you go girl. Because she never picked up salt shaker. All she used was some black pepper, which is very, very good for you. You can use herbs and spices. Buy you little bags of things like cilantro and just sprinkle it over stuff. You'd be surprised how it enhances the taste of food and make it taste so much better. I keep a cabinet full of parsley flakes. And what I do with everything I cook, I don't know why, but I just love parsley flakes. I don't even think I taste them actually because they don't have a whole lot of taste to them. But what I do is I sprinkle parsley flakes over everything. Plus it makes things look pretty. So when I post all my good recipes that I cook on Sunday morning, then I'm going to start letting y'all come into the kitchen and watch me on Sunday morning do this cooking. Give me my parsley flakes and you're going to have a beautiful dish. Some of the other things that you can season with as good as lemon. Like if you got some salmon, get a lemon and just drizzle it over that salmon. Oh my goodness, it takes it to a whole different level. Lime, so these are the things you want to pick up when you go to the grocery store and just keep them. So when you start cooking and you do your fish, just grab your lemon and grab your lime and just squeeze it over the top and it's going to taste so good. And make sure you always choose products that say sodium or salt free or says low sodium, especially if you're using broths or soups or soy sauce. They are loaded with salt, loaded with salt. So you've got to stick with those labels that say low salt, and there again, you got to always read the label. And the next thing you want to do with your sweets, okay, I know y'all was waiting for that, sweets. Guess what? Sweets no more than 5 times a week. Not a day. Did you hear what I said? Not every day, but a week. You can treat yourself to something sweet. But you want to choose the low fat and trans fat free sweets. So if you turn it over and read the label and it say trans fats, you want to put it back. If it says high fructose corn syrup, you want to put it back. Some of the things that used to go good, my grandmother used to make all the time that's not so bad for you. Y'all remember old-fashioned Jell-O? Nobody does that anymore. My grandmother used to do Jell-O, and because I'm from the country in Georgia, and we always had fresh peaches, she would always cut up these peaches and put it in there, and oh, it would taste so good as Jell-O. Graham crackers. You ever notice when you're in the hospital and you need a snack, guess what they bring you? They bring you a little pack of graham crackers out there because they are low fat and low sugar. Graham crackers, they're good for you also. Animal crackers, low-fat fig bars. I remember one time I ate fig bars, so I was playing hooky from school because I didn't want to go and take this test, and I told my mother I had a stomach ache. And she said, oh, she just catered to you so much when you're sick. What would that baby want from the store? I said, some fig Newton. So she went and bought them, and she came back. And I didn't have a stomach ache. I just didn't want to go to school and take the test. So I laid in the bed with her just waiting on me hand and foot. And I ate one whole roll of those fig Newtons. And good heavens, guess what? I had a stomach ache after that. So it just goes to show you, you get what you ask for in life. So be careful what you ask for in life. So what you want to do is make sure you eat fruit to satisfy that old fruit taste, that old sweet taste. So if you say to yourself, oh, I got a sweet taste in my mouth, I just want me some ice cream, go eat you a nice piece of fruit. Actually, fruit is loaded with sugar. That's why a lot of times with diseases like diabetes, you actually have to watch the fruit that you eat because watermelon will shoot your sugar through the roof. You know, and a lot of diabetics love watermelon. I said because it's water and sugar. And if you notice, if you take your sugar before you eat the watermelon and then take it after you eat the watermelon, it's just jumped up to 200 or 300 because a lot of fruit has a lot of sugar. And always remember, the bigger the fruit, the more the sugar. The smaller the fruit, the less the sugar, like a blueberry. It's little, so it doesn't have that high sugar content. Watermelon is big, so it has a lot of sugar in it. So whenever you want some dessert and really want some dessert, eat you a nice piece of fruit. That should do you just fine. So what you really want to concentrate on, and as we recap this, is make sure you pay attention to what you eat every day. Write down what you eat. Make a diary. You'll be shocked if you write down everything you eat all day and then come back over the week and look at it. You're going to see brownie Monday, 2 donuts Tuesday, and you're going to be saying, is that me? And guess what? We're going to say, yeah, that was you. So make sure you pay attention to what you eat. Keep a diary of what you eat. Try to do your 3 balanced meals every single day. Don't skip a meal thinking you're going to go lose weight, because when you skip a meal, it makes the human body hold on to what it got, because it don't know if you out in a desert island somewhere and can't find your way back home or lost in the woods. So what the body is so smart and so trained at keeping you alive, what it'll do is just hold on to every single thing that you got. You always want to let food be your medicine and medicine be your food. So you want to do your 3 meals every single day and try to do them the same time every single day. When you go to the market shopping, you want to read those labels. My rule is 5 ingredients or less. If it has over 5 ingredients in it, then you need to put it back on the shelf. That's probably not the food for you. The best food is 1 apple, 1 cucumber, 1 orange, 1 zucchini is always 1. And then the more you add to it, the less nutritional the product becomes. So you want to do that. You don't want to do no late night eating. You should have your biggest meal before 5 or 6. And if you get a little lunchy after that, then you can have a little snack, a little half of a sandwich with a little mustard on it or a piece of fruit. But you want to at least have a little snack at bedtime if you need one. Some graham crackers again. Those are what we give you in the hospital. So, and as those of you who have been in the hospital, you know that's what we do. And you always want to stay well hydrated. You want to drink a lot of water. You want to avoid soda. Please avoid soda. Soda is nothing but syrup. High fructose corn syrup and water. That's all soda is. So avoid soda. Avoid all those sweet juices because they loaded with calories. If you're diabetic, they will mess your sugar up really, really bad. Make water be your number 1 beverage. Try to drink it with every meal and between meals also, if your doctor has not restricted your water consumption. So that's part 1 of the DASH diet, and we're going to come back shortly with part 2.